I could just move that. I didn't even make a difference. Meow. Meow.
It just changes the angle. It's a bit
It
weird.
does a little bit, doesn't it? Meow. Meow. Can put it in the middle because it just looks goofy. Oh, now there's no one in it. Thank you, YouTube.
I just got the notification though, so.
I know, but thank you, YouTube, for making my life misery.
I wonder if I can comment on the other one.
Maybe.
Be like,
it should have been
we're in
deleted.
The other one.
Howdy everyone. So apologies to all the people that were waiting. The way it works is I schedule it and then we're supposed to be able to just click go live and it goes live. YouTube has it out for me as I keep talking about. So maybe I'm just reinforcing it and it didn't work. So I have to keep making it. So from now on, I'm not going to schedule it. I'm literally just going to message you guys on the community tab like 20 minutes before saying going live at such and such time. And then I'm just going to set it and just go live so that you're not waiting in the other one and then getting kicked out and bleh, pain in the ass. But yeah, let's get started. Hi everyone. Happy that you're all here. It's only going to be about an hour because 1, haven't eaten, B, it's Sunday. 3, I have to do 500 push-ups in under an hour as part of a challenge. So this is going to end at 9:45 and then I have to go and do 500 push-ups by the time it hits 11:45. So 10:45. So yeah, so I can have to keep it short today. But Kent Clark says, Yo G, howdy, howdy. Alice says, hi, howdy, howdy. AH says, heya, howdy, howdy. Sarah Jo Angel says, what's up, guys? Howdy, howdy. Affiliate Jumpstart says, been a while since I last tuned into one of these. It has been. How are you doing? Howdy, howdy. Sybil says, hello, howdy, howdy. Ken Clark says, been a little while. It has indeed. Howdy, howdy. Positive V says, oh my God, how can I manifest getting my money back? I was scammed and it's all my money. Well, you can revise the subject. You could say something like, you could do the I remember when technique. So revising it would be maybe that you didn't give it to them at all, or however it worked, depending on the scam itself. You can revise it so that the subject didn't happen at all. Or the I remember when is something you could do. So it's like, I remember when I was scammed and lost my money, but I got it back and I'm really grateful for that. Or just affirm that like the money that you lost due to the scam found its way back to you and everything is amazing going forward. But basically, you're just going to want to assume that that money has come back to you in some way. AH says, how can we manifest good health for our animals? Is it possible? Yeah, it is. So it would be the same as manifesting good health for yourself. You just impress the subconscious mind with the notion that the animal's health is sort of top shape. So if it's like a cat that's like ill, you just be like, oh, I'm so grateful that my cat is well and healthier than ever. And yeah, you just continue to do what you would normally do for yourself, but obviously you would replace you with the animal. Alice says, I don't have any questions today. Feel like I'm doing everything right. So I'm just here to listen and support the channel. Well, that's great to hear. Thank you for the support. Kent Clark says 500 push-ups is insane. Best of luck. Yeah, so as I've sort of mentioned in a couple of my videos, ignore my very fucking chickeny legs, I do a lot of self-improvement stuff as well. I have an LOA channel, but I am very big on self-improvement, and I've tried to sort of nudge you guys in the general self-improvement way, but you guys just won't have it, so fair enough. But one of the things that I came across the other day was a video, and it was by a channel called CEO of Testosterone, bit of a goofy name, but whatever. And it was a challenge. It was a mental toughness challenge. And there was 5 challenges in it. And the first one is to do 500 push-ups in under an hour, because your brain gives up longer before your body does. You've easily got some extra gas in the tank, but your brain just says, oh, I'm done, I can't do this. And then you give up. So it's meant to be a way to kind of get yourself to just push through that. And yeah, and oh, I think I made it more uneven. Just, yeah, it's just a way to get you to push yourself through it and just commit, you know. So it is insane, but you know, it's worth it.
Do you want a drink really quick?
Yes, I do, please. Thanks. Yeah, please. Yeah, just put it in there. It's fine. Juicy Jules says, hey guys, howdy, howdy. Kiati Saxina says, hello guys, howdy, howdy. Monica Santos says, hello, howdy, howdy. Ken Clark says, Clint. Yeah, don't start confusing me even more. Clint Clark. Just call me Clark Clint. Sybil says, how do I get over the fear that I'm manifesting bad things? Like, I think about things I'm afraid of. I try not to, but then I get scared that I'm manifesting a plane crash or something, and it leads to more overthinking. So just remember that the only things that manifest are the things that you give power to. So if you're thinking of a plane crash, as long as you're not like really feeling into it and going like, oh, this is definitely happening right now, you're all good. But to be honest, if you are getting like that or the plane crash, then therapy might be worthwhile. But no, honestly, the thoughts like that, they're not going to manifest. It's only if you really give into. And I know overthinking could be giving into them, but if you were like really like, no, this is my experience right now, then it will manifest. But if you're overthinking it like that, I don't see it manifesting. Because also, don't forget, your subconscious mind is also there to keep you alive and keep you safe. So if you're picturing yourself in a plane crash, that goes against this sort of natural programming. And although bad things do happen to us, stuff like that are few and far between. So I think you're okay. Ken Clark says CEO of Testosterone is a great channel for young guys. Absolutely. I don't watch all that much of his stuff, but when I saw the mental toughness challenge, I was like, yep, I'm interested in this. So that's why I've just decided I'm going to do it. So, but yeah, I would agree. I think he's one of the more down to earth. Obviously, him as a character is quite like wild and all over the place, but like what he talks about on his channel, I think is a lot more down to earth than a lot of the other sort of manosphere channels. But yeah, I like him. Sprinkled Peace Donut says, do you have to revise all the drama between you and your SP in order for it to work? No, not at all. If you assume that you will, then obviously that's a block getting in your way. But no, the general essence, no, not at all. You don't even have to revise anything. It's just if you are able to, thank you very much, let go of the old story without revising it, then that is enough for you to be able to manifest. You don't have to do anything to do with the past because it's all about looking forward.
I just had the cats, by the way.
Okay, cool, thanks. Bees, slut. I feel as though when I waver and have bad concept or thoughts that I have to make myself believe again to get my results, and I just want to have no negative thoughts. Do you say anything else? I didn't. Yeah, I get you. And this comes with practice. I don't know how long you've been doing this, but this comes with like mental discipline, mental fortitude. Not every day is going to be a good day. Not every thought that you have is going to be a good thought. Not every moment is going to be good. And you just need to be able to accept that you are going to have bad days. And when you do, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is just go, right, that happened. It's all good. I'm moving on now. Because otherwise you're just going to be holding yourself back. And for what? It doesn't really benefit you to like force yourself out of them. Just let those thoughts come, let them go, and then go back onto what it is that you're supposed to be doing and supposed to be focusing on. Millie says, tell yourself that negative thoughts don't manifest. Yeah, you can also do that.
It has taken me probably, I'd say easily 6 months to stop panicking about bad thoughts. Because it is something, obviously, when depending on how bad the thoughts are, they come in, they can really sort of, I guess, freak you out, and you can quite easily spiral from there. But yeah, over the past 6 months, that's something that I have personally been working on, and I would say it has taken me probably 6 months just to stop the initial panic. Because I think if you can get rid of the initial panic after a bad thought, then you're less likely to continue that bad thought. You're less likely to let it like sit in your brain and stuff like that. It's that first initial, oh fuck, why am I thinking like that? What's caused that thought? And you start to then spiral from there. And I think that first initial panic where you go, oh my god, if I think about that too much, it's going to come like reality, la la la. And then that bit, if you can get rid of that bit, then the bad thoughts, they still pop up and they still come, but you're just like,
trusting yourself is extremely important. But yeah, I tried to put it on my thingy, but I couldn't find it.
Live chat. You're on top.
Why does it just? Surely it should know by now that I'm stupid and needed to do it for me. Have we missed anyone? Been a while. Everyone there said hi. It's all good. I answered all of those. That's fine. I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think you missed any, but I just noticed it was on top chat.
Yeah. Okay. I can't find that. If you're able to, can you find the live stream photo, the thumbnail, please? You could have just done that. Yeah. Apparently I'm stupid. Okay. So Ria Saraju, sorry if I said that wrong. Can you date other people while manifesting your SP? Yes, I absolutely believe you can. And I know that there are a lot of other coaches that also believe you can. Your subconscious mind just takes what it believes to be true in that moment and pushes it out. So it doesn't care. Past, present, and future don't matter to it. It doesn't have a concept of time. So technically, when you think about it, any previous person that you've dated, if you think about them, your subconscious mind, if impressed, will just assume that that is your experience right now. So by that standard, If you weren't able to date other people, that would also mean you wouldn't be able to remember anything about anybody else, because then that would block your manifestation. So yeah, I believe that you absolutely can, and I know a lot of the coaches can do. And to be honest, in some instances, it can even benefit you. If it can help you take your mind off of the individual, then it can benefit you. If it's not there, I might have to download it again.
I was going to say it's not in the Canva file, so it's not in
Okay,
the download
that's fine.
file.
I'll download it again. Affiliate jumps.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, please. I don't even know where my camera is, so I'm just there. Should really start sorting this stuff out first. Affiliate Jumpstart says gonna be getting on a plane for my first time to visit Atlanta for a business event soon. That's really cool. Hopefully the business event goes well, and hopefully Sybil doesn't accidentally manifest your plane crashing. But yeah, let us know how it goes when you've been. That is really cool. I'd love to do a business event. Obviously, a small channel, and I'm sure eventually one day I will be able to. But it'd be really cool to do one. Bees Slut says, also, how do I make myself believe in what I'm the one in control, truly create my reality? Doesn't always feel certain, even when I have proof. Well, yeah. Well, if you have proof and still don't feel certain, then nothing's going to make you believe. You just have to trust in that, because if you actually have the proof that it works, like, for example, having proof that it works and still not believing it is almost like saying, oh, when I walk on the moon, that's proof that the moon exists, but then not believing it's there. If you have the proof and still refuse to believe it, then there's not anything more concrete than proof. So I suppose based on that, the only thing that I would recommend, thank you very much, is to just continue getting proof until the point where you're like, no, this is more than enough proof for me to believe it. If I have like 30 different manifestations that all say that I have it, then it must mean that I have it. But there isn't anything more concrete than concrete evidence. But yeah, or you could affirm it as well. Affirm that, like, you're the operant power. You trust that you're the operant power. All those kind of things. Metanoia. Hey guys, needs. But that's got an A. Metanio. Sorry if I said it wrong. Hey guys, need some advice about my situation. No contact for 8 months. Found out she's moving out of state. We got in an argument when I broke no contact and tried to convince her to stay. Skipped again. I hate when YouTube does that. She blocked me and nuked her socials. I know this girl and I are made for each other, and I'm completely aware of how I manifested this. What would you two do if you were in my present state of consciousness? So the first thing that I would do is I wouldn't bother reaching out. I say this all the time. Reaching out as a I say this all the time. I don't say the first part, but I say the second part all the time. Reaching out in itself is not that big of a problem. The only reason that reaching out is usually a problem is because A, most people are doing it from a desperate state. Obviously, you said you tried to convince her to stay. That's obviously not coming from the best of places. But B, a lot of people can't handle the rejection, which makes 100% sense. Like, I'm not saying that like you need to be like made of steel and yada, yada, yada. But like most people can't handle the rejection, and that turns into spiraling, and then that turns into creating more negative. So the first thing that I would do is try your absolute best to not reach out. Where necessary, they will reach out to you and it will all come together. So the first thing that I would recommend is obviously to, stop that. The second thing, it can all change. As we are aware, circumstances don't matter, so you're all good. What I would say is get clear on what it is that you want. Can you just write, we are live right now, and then put the link in. The link should already be there. Get clear on what it is that you want. Like, what kind of relationship do you want to be where she is? Do you want her to be where you are? Just get clear on like what you want the fundamentals and the details of your relationship to be. Create scenes and statements that imply that they are true for you right now. So like, I am in the most loving, committed relationship with such and such, or me and such are enjoying our lovely relationship now that I've moved toward it. Just whatever it is that you want to focus on. Make sure it's from the end result. If you're messing with the middle too much, it can usually be a lot more stressful. Story. Yeah, fine. And then you're going to want to repeat these to yourself. I would recommend definitely in the morning and night to try and really sum it in, because your conscious mind is out of the way. Like I said in my what is the Lawofassumption video that I put up the other day and how to use it, when your conscious mind is kind of like away is the best time to do like the stuff to convince you that it is real for you. And that's usually in morning and night, because your brain is in an alpha state as opposed to any other kind of brainwave state. And it usually becomes a lot easier to impress the submind. So definitely make use of when you've just woken up and just before you go to sleep. And then just as you go throughout the day, just remind yourself that you are actually the person living the life that you want to be living with your person, and just keep persisting until it comes into play. Don't chase, don't text, don't do all of this stupid stuff. Let them come to you. Kiati says, after manifesting SP back, how to keep them for good. The biggest thing is self-concept. SPs don't just up and leave. It's usually a case of where our thoughts have been, where our insecurities are, how we're making them feel, and obviously that pushes them away, all that kind of stuff. None of those problems arise when you have a good self-concept. When you are someone who has like faith in yourself, when you know that you're a high value individual, when you love yourself, when you can love your person unconditionally without them needing to give you something in return, that is how you create a healthy and happy relationship that keeps them in. As I said in my collaboration video with Corey, when you need someone else to fulfill you, you are becoming their burden. And all we ever want to do is get rid of a burden. So just ask yourself, am I whole? Am I healthy? Am I good for this person? Am I good for myself? Or is there still work to be done? If there's still work to be done, do that work. And then you two can come together healthily instead of needing them to fulfill the whole, because then they need to live two lives essentially. And that's just too much stress for someone else. So once you get them back, make sure that you stay your main priority. Make sure you stay on the pedestal. And I don't mean necessarily like you have to like kick them to the curb, but make sure that you can love them unconditionally, because you know that you're great. You know that you have your life together and that nothing about them is going to stop you. Nothing that you do is going to stop you. Nothing they do is going to stop you being okay. Sorry, I butchered that. Can you just put the link in the group chat as well, just so people in there can see? Cappadocian Kid says, hey everyone, what's the best way of letting go of the old story if it's hard to forget? Ask yourself what it is about the old story that you can't let go of. Why are you still holding on to it? Why? Because our brain doesn't just go to it much without a situation. For example, what?
The thumbnail that is chosen. Sorry, just look at that. Look at the thumbnail that it chose to give us.
It's like a typical like YouTuber's like thumbnail. It's like,
yeah.
But yeah. So for example, and this is a ridiculous example, but I think it'll make a lot of sense. I didn't have the best childhood growing up, but because I've managed to let go of my childhood, because I've come to terms with it all, I very rarely think about it. So if you are constantly thinking about something negative, it's because it's got some sort of hold over you. So what I would first recommend you do, and it does mean looking into the old story first, but it's looking into it to remove it, is ask yourself, why is this so important to you? Why is it that your brain keeps going back to it? What is it trying to tell you? What does it teach you about yourself? What do you need to let go of? And then if you need to, get a pen and paper while you do so, and literally just blitz out all of the potential reasons that your brain keeps going back to this old story. And then when you've got it all out and you've got it all like clear in your mind, you can then work on letting it go. You can then work on creating opposite assumptions that imply that things aren't like that, or that things are better than that, or whatever it is that you've tried to get rid of. And then if you want, just for that extra little bit of spice, just burn the piece of paper, and you can just pretend that that's you letting go of the old story, and let that be your new method of getting rid of it, shall we say. Metanoia. Sorry. I know this girl, and that was part of the other thing earlier. My bad. Oh, YouTube, stop skipping. Stop ruining my night. Ken Clark says, really eloquently explained, Katie. Could not agree more with your thoughts on reverse engineering your thoughts when they spiral. See, Katie she can do my job for me.
No, but thank you.
Sprinkle Peace Donut says, thank you. You're very welcome. Office Boards says, hi from France. Tell me, is it worth for my affirmations instead of saying them? Please tell me. Listening, my fault.
Tell me, is it worth my affirmations instead of saying them?
That comment doesn't make sense. If you could maybe try rephrasing it a slightly different way.
I think what you're asking, I might be wrong, is it worth listening to them instead of writing them down? But it's whatever works best for you. I think that's what the question is.
Is it
worth instead of saying them, listening to them? So instead of...
Okay.
I think that's what you're asking, possibly. And if it is, it's, whatever.
Oh, is it worth listening instead of saying them? Yeah, okay. I think that makes sense. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. I know a lot of people have a lot of use with like affirmations tapes, and obviously our affirmations tapes people seem to love. So I definitely think our ones are very good to use. Links and not here. I will put it in a minute. But yeah, if you want to listen to them, by all means listen to them. If you want to say them, by all means say them. It's entirely up to you. Whatever helps you reach a state of fulfillment. And yep, this is my experience right now. That is the best thing for you to do. Sybil says, Lama, so I've stopped. The plane crash was just an example. Oh, I see. Well, you never know. Now that's on your mind. Watch out, affiliate jumpstart. You might be brown breaded. What's that?
Oh, they have answered what they meant by the question. Did you want to read it and then go back up?
Oh, bonsoir. Do you recommend listening your affirmations about 3 times a day for 10 min? My point, is it any good? Sorry for English, I'm French. Merci beaucoup. My bad. Yeah, thanks. No, it's fine. The language is absolutely fine. We just wanted to make sure that we answered your question properly because we didn't want you leaving here more confused. Yeah, like we say, it's entirely up to you. If you want to listen to them 3 times a day for about 10 minutes and it feels good and you actually feel like a state of, yep, this is done, by all means do it. I think affirmations tape are helpful because you can do them while doing other things. So if you're really busy and like your mind is really needing to be used for something, having an affirmations tape in the background will just help you kind of still let your subconscious mind be impressed, because you don't need to be directly hearing it for it to work. This is exactly why subliminals seem to work so well. Even though you're not actually listening to what the subliminal is telling you, your subconscious mind in one way or another is picking it up. So yeah, I would recommend, if you would like to and if it feels good to, definitely utilize affirmations tapes. If you want to utilize them instead of affirmations, that would be up to you. That would depend on how you feel about them compared to affirmations. Jordan Strang says, hey guys, Matt, I messaged you on Insta. The great progress I'm having with my manifestation journey. You're definitely going to be proud of me. I will try to remember to check it out after this. I've been super busy at the moment with like the Discord, Instagram, all the video and stuff. So I haven't actually had much of a chance to answer my DMs. I know Joey's trying to set up another collaboration. He wants me to do another collaboration with him, but I haven't even had a chance to properly answer him either. So apologies, but I'll get around to it when I can. Dev says, fuck the logic mind.
But also, congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations on your journey. It's because I was going to say that in the message. But yeah, good job. Dev says, fuck the logic mind. Have you watched Ava's new video on LOA community? I started to watch it because I got clickbaited into it and then I got bored. So I actually don't know the full thing. I think from what I heard, she was like, oh, there's loads of community people. There's loads of LOA people. And then I was just like, yeah, there is, and clicked off. Because it's like, I don't get why people are mad, like, I don't get why people are mad that there's so many people that want to do LOA content. I'm just here to help. If I can help a single person, then great. Like, it's not, I'm not taking from anybody. I don't know what the topic of her video is about, but I'm not here to take from anyone else. I'm just here to give my 2 cents. And if people vibe with it, then great, which so many people do. So that's why I stuck around. I literally said in like my first or second video, if people want me to do more, I'm going to do more, but it's not that I'm intending at the time to become an LOA YouTuber. I literally just put out a video that I found helped, and if people resonated, then great, and people did. So that's why I'm still doing it. So I must be doing something right, but I don't really know what her video is about. All I heard was that she was whinging about there being loads of people that don't know what they're talking about, and then I was like, if they don't know what they're talking about, they're not going to succeed. What's the problem? So I just clicked off because I was just like, it just sounds like more just whinging. Sprinkle Peace Donut. I do like Ava though. I do want to point out, I'm saying that she's whinging, but I do think Ava is actually quite one of the better ones, and that if you do vibe with her content, definitely stick with it. But yeah. Sprinkle Peace Donut says, can weightless be considered self-concept?
Yeah.
Oh, weight loss. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's all about you. It's a desire about yourself. It's seeing you the way that you want to be. So yeah, absolutely.
It's currently working for me.
And me, look how slim I look.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that even if your affirmations about your self-concept only give you like a tiny bit of confidence to go, you know what, I'm going to go off and do this today, I think it's a plus. So I think working on self-concept, even if you have like the idea, oh, well, I can't lose weight, I can't, whatever it is, if you just keep like affirming to yourself that you are exactly at your dream, like weight, or dream appearance and stuff like that, if you just keep sending those like positive thoughts to yourself, you give yourself that little confidence boost and you're like, yeah, do you know what, I'm going to go for a walk today, I'm going to go and do this, and like all of those things add up along the way and definitely do improve. And I find personally I can lose weight a lot easier when I feel good about myself. When I feel bad about myself, I can't really. So yeah, I do think self-concept and weight loss go sort of like hand in hand, but definitely not from a I hate myself kind of way. That just makes it harder. You're fighting not only your like body weight, but you are also fighting your own head. So I definitely find using a lot of like affirmations and stuff about myself, and also dressing how I like. It has taken me absolute years to do that, but dressing how I like. I know today is not a good example because I'm wearing a giant hoodie, but my attitude is if I want to be a size whatever, and I'm a size whatever, I'm going to wear whatever I want, because all that will happen is when I do get to that size, everyone will go, wow, that outfit's so pretty on you. And, you know, if they don't say it when I'm at the other side, they will when I get there, sort of thing. So, yeah, I think self-concept is key to self-improvement. I think feeling good about what you're doing, basically, that's my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Geetha says, hey, do you think it's better to robotically affirm throughout the day or actually put aside 10 minutes a couple of times a day to affirm? I would recommend the 10 minutes a couple of times a day more than anything, because although impression of the subconscious mind can happen with a single thought, when you are feeling the fulfillment of it already being done, you are basically fast tracking it there. I don't like using the terms like fast track and instantly and stuff, but in this case, it is true. You are more than likely going to have more success with setting aside a few times a day and really feeding into it than you would if you were to just blindly affirm. So I would recommend setting yourself a couple of times, 10 minutes a couple of times a day. But if you do still want to sort of affirm throughout the day, that is up to you. Just do what's comfortable. But I definitely think the 10 minutes a couple of times a day is more effective. Juicy Jules says, your Lawofassumption video 2 days ago was absolutely brilliant, well explained and informative. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Ali Braun says, what techniques would you recommend for self-concept? I think affirmations and just simply doing are the best. So affirmations would be stuff like I'm loved, I'm prioritized, I prioritize myself, therefore I am prioritized by others, I accept the best and only the best, stuff like that. But when I say just doing, self-concept is, in my opinion, one of the very few things that you can't fuck up by implementing into the 3D. Now, I say, obviously, we say like putting in the 3D work and stuff like that. So I wouldn't recommend chasing your manager if they haven't given you a pay rise yet. I wouldn't recommend texting your SP if they haven't texted you yet. But I would recommend implementing self-concept stuff at all given times. So if you're being disrespected, ask yourself, is this like, if I was the person I'd want to be, would I accept this? And if the answer is no, which I should hope it would be, you then implement something to stop that disrespect, because it's working on you. It's putting yourself first. And self-concept is the only thing that I think basically constantly doing it in the 3D and implementing stuff is actually a good thing to do. So set boundaries, tell people no, put yourself first, prioritize yourself, because all this is going to do is tell your subconscious mind, we come first. And then everybody else goes, they come first, because they're reflecting you. So those are the two ways that I'd highly recommend you like implement self-concept, or implement to work on your self-concept.
And saying affirmations in the mirror.
That too. Well. Mirror work, yeah.
Like, I think that's quite good.
Metanoi. Sorry, I was going to say that wrong every time.
They said how you say it somewhere.
How did they? Oh, metanoia. Oh, okay, metanoia. Cool, thanks.
We really did butcher that. We're sorry.
Thanks, guys. Means the world to me. Wishing you both the best and hope everything is always going your way. Also, it's pronounced metanoia. Well, thank you, metanoia. Wishing the best for you, and you're welcome for answering the questions. And then Roy says, hello, Matty and Katie. Nice to see you all again. Hello. Howdy, howdy. It's been a while. It skipped again. Oh, we answered that one. Ken Clark says, Matt, will you get a tattoo for when you hit 10K subs? Tell you what, I will. I'll get a tattoo and I'll record it and post it as a short of me getting a tattoo for when I hit 10K subs. And I'll put a poll and I'll let you guys decide what I get tattooed, as long as it's reasonable. Like, I'm not getting like,
you can like choose 4 pictures, for example.
Yeah.
Put those up as a poll.
It would be topics though. I wouldn't be like these 4 pictures. I would like one topic.
But like you could use pictures as like an inspiration sort of thing. So like something along these lines.
Yeah.
And then I can do it.
but no, oh yeah, she's tattooist. But no, we're not doing any kind of astrology shit.
I personally think you should have a back door.
No, I don't like the Lawofassumption's backdoor name. I've been thinking about changing it, but yeah, we're not doing any astrology tattoos. But I will. I'll get a tattoo at 10k subs, and I'll let you guys all pick
Scorpio
it.
sign.
Scorpio. That's astrology. I don't care if I'm a Scorpio. As I'm still astrology. Nina says, just want to say hi to both of you and promote Matt's coaching. It's so worth it, and I'm happy I got this coaching. Oh, thank you very much, Nina. That's very kind of you to say. And yeah, hi to you too. See, I do have good clients. I got accused the other day of people saying that I was a scammer. So there you go. It was only one person, so it's not really people, just one person.
One singular person.
But yeah, so there you go. There's a comment for justifying it. Amy Woodsma says, how do you affirm for an SP when you're having tons of opposing thoughts in the day? So like I said earlier, just in case you weren't there, I'll repeat myself. Find out why you're having lots of opposing thoughts. You obviously do have the odd thought here and there for like no reason, but consistent thoughts don't usually come from nowhere. They are usually stemmed by some sort of issue that you're holding on to or something that's telling you. So I think the first thing that you should implement before you start trying to work on how you can go forward is ask yourself, what is it that you're being told by these thoughts? Look deeper into them. Ask yourself, why am I having these thoughts? What is it about myself that keeps having these thoughts? What is it about the situation that I keep having these thoughts? What's the worst that could happen if these thoughts were to actualize? And get to the bottom root cause of it, because that is it's the bread and butter, really. If you can find the root cause of why your mind is working a certain way, then your mind can come up with a way to fix it. So get to the root cause and then start affirming the opposite so that you can comfort yourself. Sorry, I caught wind of a different comment and then I got confused. I got distracted. Yeah, so then you can start going forward in your new assumptions. When you have, oh, this is the reason these old thoughts keep coming up. This is what I would need to be believing in order for these to no longer at least matter. Then you start assuming that these are the case by affirming those to yourself along with the affirmations for your SP. And what this will do is it will rewire your subconscious mind to believe that actually all of these negative thoughts don't matter because we're not living a life that they even have a place to stand in. I'm not unconfident, so therefore there's no reason why a negative thought about my confidence should show up, just as an example. And yeah, and then you can just affirm that alongside your affirmations about your SP, and boom, then you just start rewiring your subconscious mind to create the best. Ken Clark says, implementing self-concept subliminals was a game changer for me. Solar Subs has a fantastic one. Oh, that's great. So yeah, everyone go check out Solar Subs if you're interested in using a subliminal. Dev says, I heard from Ava that some coach lied about manifesting the SP. Basically, they lied and scammed people. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm not surprised.
I think in every single industry, there will be people who are impersonating genuine people. And the thing is with this sort of thing is everybody online shares their story. Everybody online can go to anybody else's story and copy it word for word. Like, literally, but that is in every single industry. Even like in like nail bars. You can go to a nail bar and on the wall they have all these like beautiful pictures of nails. They haven't done them. And then you come out and you're like, oh fuck. And you know, that happens in absolutely every industry. I think you just have to be careful and look for the genuine people who are the ones who actually care, the ones who don't just randomly post success story after success story after success story. Because I think the more people who do that sort of thing where they're like, I did this, like over and over again, they're just trying to drag you in, pull you in sort of thing. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's right. But yeah, Kate is right. I think every industry will have people like that. For example, just a goofy example, and this actually came up just a second ago in a little call that I had to do. There's a fitness YouTuber. I can't remember his name, but to every other fitness industry, he's an absolute goofy. It's gonna really bug me if I don't remember him. But basically, he's scamming people left and right, but he still has his own fan base, and it's because there will be people that believe him. And all you've got to do is be able to talk the talk, and you can make yourself in an industry. And this is actually one of the reasons why I stopped doing success stories, because I had a couple of comments in the past about how, like, oh, convenient that you're not going to post their situation and stuff, because someone commented on one of my videos saying, thanks to your work I got like my SP back. This was a comment from a completely different YouTube channel, not channel, sorry, YouTube commenter, and they put in the comments that they got their SP back using like my videos and stuff. And then someone was just like, oh, well, where's the details? And I put, well, I don't know them personally, they've never worked together at that time because we hadn't. And they started accusing me of lying, and it's just like, you know what, I give up. I'm just going to start showing you guys the feedback I get from my coaching and let my videos talk for me. If you don't believe that I know what I'm talking about, then you don't have to be here. But by all no means would I ever try and scam people, because I just can't be asked. Like, you know, I know what I'm talking about, and that's why you're all here, and that's why we have so many regular people. As I mentioned to Katie the other day, like, we have genuine fans. We've not just got people that show up because we've got like content that they want. They actually show up for us, and that's all that I care about. And I don't need to falsify anything or scam anyone just to prove that you guys should be watching. I just let it do it for it. And as Nina's comment was that it was like really beneficial for her to come to me for coaching. So it's great. So I'm not surprised. Back to the original point, I'm not surprised that there is someone that's lied about it, because coaching in general, not just LOA, but coaching in general, there is a lot of money in coaching. If you've got something that someone else wants and they want to learn how to get like you. So if you can like big up your life as much as you possibly can, then you can charge a lot of money regardless of the industry. So I'm not surprised. And I don't think that I say justifies. I don't think that's a big enough reason to quit the LOA community. In my opinion, that's the worst thing to do, because if you're quitting the community, you're basically just giving it over to the fake people. And I genuinely believe that Ava is one of the genuine people who knows what she's talking about. Seems very down to earth. And I think if people like her start checking out because there's too many scammers, then all that's going to be left is scammers. Now, I don't know if she put I quit because she was clickbaiting, or whether she genuinely is actually just stopping it all in all, because I didn't watch the full video. But I think quitting the community because of a couple of people is like lying about it is the worst thing to do. It's only going to make it worse, because then there's going to be more liars, and it's just, yeah. So there's my 2 cents. Natty J has joined the community. That's great. Thank you for joining. If you go onto the membership channel, I think there's the Discord link on there. If it's expired, because sometimes I don't know how long it takes to expire, but I put it up like a week or so ago. If it's expired, let me know and I'll drop you the new Discord link. But thank you very much for joining the Discord. And Duda has put, I don't know what CHF is, but I believe that's like a currency. So Duda, thank you very much for the 10 CHFs. We really, really appreciate that. And it's good to hear from you. I haven't heard from you for a little while, so it's good to hear from you. I hope you're all as well. And thank you very much, Natty J, for joining the community. And thank you very, very, very much, Duda, for the donation. It's very, very kind of you. And I like the little
macho man.
Yeah, the macho man that's leveling up.
Up.
That's cool. But yeah, thank you both very much. But yeah, I just back to what I was saying. I think checking out because of a couple of scammers is making things worse, because then they're all that's going to be left. But meh. Gotta find where I was, because I scrolled down for the notifications. I heard Ava. Okay, cool. So Ken Clark. By the way, also because I'm super nosy, did she say who it was that lied about it? Just because I'm nosy. Ken Clark.
Like the gossip.
I do like the gossip.
You do like the gossip.
It's because they said that I can know not who to promote as well. Because I always put like in my videos, I'm like, oh, Joseph Ella, Kim Velez, or like stuff like that. So it's like, if I don't want to go, oh yeah, you should definitely go check out so and so. They seem very genuine, and they've actually lied to people about like their stuff and just ripped people off. So I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally make things worse. Ken Clark says, is listening to affirmation the same as thinking it? Well, yes and no. So a lot of the time, if you hear it, you probably will think what you're hearing. But also at the same time, you don't necessarily have to think it in order for it to impress, which is why subliminals work. Because there's no way you're listening to that music. I mean, you might be listening to that music thinking of stuff, but most of the time, you're just hearing music and it just does what it does. So it's not the same, but it can yield the same results. M Joy says, hi guys, love you both. 2 questions. 1, can you explain the name of the channel? Why backdoor? Really curious, lol. Okay, so I'll answer that first. So basically, in my old house, I used to leave my back door unlocked because I was the only one with my own place at the time. So if any of my friends ever got locked out of their house, if they ever got kicked out and they really needed somewhere to go, it was always available. They could always get into my house regardless if I was there, wasn't there. I didn't care. So the reason that this channel is called Law of Assumptions Backdoor is at the beginning, it was meant to be a bit of a callback to that. It was meant to be my way of providing you an easy way into the law of assumption, because a lot of the people that I watched would talk all about Neville Goddard's scripts and talk all about the Bible. And I found it very confusing at first. And I just thought, I'm going to become one of the channels that dumb it down. I'm going to try and explain it as best as I possibly can while being as simple as I possibly can. So it was meant to be the easy backdoor into the law of assumption. So that's kind of where the name came from. Then the channel started to grow, and now I hate the channel name. So and the other one, do affirmations ever work without shifting state? So affirmations get you into the state. You cannot physically think a thought without at least in that moment be operating from the state of having it. That's what affirmations are for. Whether you feel it to be real for you or not is a little bit different, but you're at least thinking from it, which means that you're taking on that state. But so they do automatically shift you there, but they don't keep you there. The shifting, I suppose that's more to answer your shifting of a state is more about how you sort of operate going forward. But affirmations, they get you into the state of the wish fulfilled, but they don't keep you there. So in a sense, no, they don't work without shifting state, because they are the action of shifting state, because it's not the affirmation that manifests, it's the state that it puts you in that does. Hashan says, how do I let go of the old story? So I answered this a minute ago, but I'll go back over it briefly just in case you weren't here at the time, which I think you were, because we're so far behind the comments. Find out why the old story keeps coming up. Find out what it is that is in your mind that keeps bringing yourself back to it. Because like I said earlier, you don't commonly think the same thing over and over and over again unless there's some sort of power that is having over you. So find what power it is having over you, and then flip the story to show you the opposite, and then persist in that new opposite. Duda says, hey guys, hope you're doing well. I wonder what you think the key is to manifesting. Some say self-concept, repetition, ignoring 3D, being delusional, etc. What are your thoughts? So I'm very big on self-concept. The reason being, even though self-concept is amazing for manifesting your desires, self-concept, usually the biggest thing that it does is it allows you to trust in yourself. When you feel like the god of your reality, when you feel like the shit, it's very difficult for something outside of you to tell you, you can't do this. It's very difficult for something outside of you to say, are you sure you want to keep trying? Are you sure it's going to work? Because you don't care. So in my opinion, I think self-concept is incredibly important for manifesting, but manifesting a specific desire, the key is to be focused on that desire. Like, for example, getting your person back, you definitely can get them back through self-concept alone, but it isn't like the key is overall is to be living in the end, to living in the wish fulfilled. Now, self-concept gets you to that point because it creates this life where everything's amazing for you. But ultimately, to get any desire that you want, the main thing that you should be doing is living in the end of it. But self-concept is very good at getting it anyway, depending on what it is, and helping you keep it. Because a lot of people will get there. Oh, we're getting porn things.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you able to do that? Oh, you just reporting
it, but you need to make me a.
I don't know how I do that. Do you want to just get rid of it on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So self-concept is extremely important for keeping stuff, because too many people will affirm day in, day out to get their thing. But then because their self-concept is so poor, they end up losing it quite quickly. So I think to answer your question more simply, to get desire, just live in the end. To get desire and keep it and live a fulfilling life, self-concept any day. With obviously a hint of like living in the end.
Yeah, I think I sorted it. I just wanted to say another factor on that, but I can't remember what it was. Hold on one second. I don't know where the question was. So one thing that I think is super, super important is believing in yourself. And that's why I think self-concept is very important, because you need to believe that you can do what it is that you need to in order to do something. And that stands for like anything in life. So like if you want to ride your bike to the shop, you have to believe that you can ride your bike in the first place. So like believing in yourself and believing in what you are capable of and believing in your like power and your abilities is like, for me, something very, very massive. And I think that when you have low self-concept, you also tend to have low self-belief. You tend to not, believe that you are capable of these things, you are worthy of these things. So I think a very, very big factor is self-concept, because you need self-belief. And I think as well, when you do have like that, like belief in yourself, and you do have those feelings of like, yeah, you know, I am powerful, I am this, everything just seems to click into place. I have days where I'm like, I literally feel like I control the world, and everything that day just clicks into place. So yeah, I think that's a very big thing.
For sure.
I made it stop raining the other day. Genuinely did. But yeah.
Othis says, thanks a lot. I made my affirmations tape with my own voice. It works pretty well. That's good. I'm glad. But there's few great teachers like you in France. I thank you, Mercy. I made the listing, like you said, it worked. That's great to hear. And yeah, obviously I'll be here with videos every single week. So hopefully I'll be able to continue helping you. But yeah, if you've got it, if the tape works pretty well, then by all means make absolute use of it. Ken Clark says, yes, 10K subs tattoo on the ass cheek. Absolute mad lad. I would do it, but then what happens when I hit 100K? I'm going to have to get it scribbled out and just put 100K or add a zero. I'll put like a space in between the last zero and the K. So I could just add a little extra zero in. But I am a sucker for a challenge. So don't tempt me. I will do it. Verge says, what to do when I'm angry about my SP and it's not so easy to forgive them and myself. I know then it is difficult to manifest him the way I want him to be. Any tips on how to get rid of the anger? So yeah, going back to, I sort of like said it a couple of times, but just in case you weren't here, find out why you're still so angry. Find out what it is that you're holding on to, because I'm pretty sure there was a study that showed that we actually only experience something like for like 7 seconds. And then anything after that is us just bringing it back up in our mind, like ourselves. It's not like it's us replaying it. It's not actually the genuine like reaction. Don't know how accurate that is, but I saw something online about there being a study for it, and that's what it said. But anyway, if we use that as our focus for now, that must mean that you are still holding on to something on your own accord. So it's no longer like a reaction thing. You just are holding on to it. So find out why you're still holding on to it. Find out what it means to you, what it's saying about you, what it says to you, and then try and swap it to the opposite. Forgive yourself, forgive him. Forgive yourself, forgive him, and just find out why you feel the way that you do, what it says about you, what it says about the dynamic, and then try and swap it to the opposite so that it is now you're seeing it in a new light, and then it will be able to help you sort of move forward. Because I haven't eaten yet and I still got to go and like do a bunch of push-ups. If we could stop with the questions just for now, unless I ask you to put something in just so I can catch up, because we are so far behind.
I did want to say about something on that as well. So some of the time when we have a memory, we stick it in the wrong part of our brain. I spoke about this before. Because basically when you have something very traumatic to you or something that had a lot of emotional attachment happen to you, you store it as a happening right now memory rather than thing in the past. And the reason that they do that is like the reason that it does that is it's trauma. It's like some part of trauma. So it goes into the trauma part of your brain. And one thing that I find very useful in order to let go of like sadness, anger, or whatever is actually finding the genuine root of it. Because it's easy to look back and be like, right, he said that I'm a bitch, that's why I'm angry. But it may not be that. It may be that in that memory, there was something very minor that is the actual thing that you're holding on to, the actual story, like the story itself, you have made up essentially now. So yes, something happened to you, but you have attached all the details to it. You was like, this happened, that happened, you know, and as it's something to do with your brain and like the way that it's stored, but you're not remembering it correctly. You're not remembering the thing that actually happened. And so sometimes I know it's not good to sort of dwell in the old story, but it is important to actually find the genuine root of that rather than just, he pissed me off, he said this. It may be that the thing that actually pissed you off is when he said that, he rolled his eyes slightly up. Do you know what I mean? There might just be like a tiny detail that is the reason that you were like held onto it for that time. That's a shitty example. It's probably nothing like that. But the important thing is that you're not just going, oh, I'm over it. Find out what it was and then be over it. And like then let it go. One real good technique is writing it down to the every bit of detail, because it's then gone from your brain. It's no longer in your brain. You don't have to remember any details at all. You have written it down. That is the story. That is what happened. And now you can move on from it.
Yeah. Geetha says, I'm confused by how the law works. I affirmed that my ex would text me and he actually did. I don't understand how shifting realities makes someone do something. Well, if you watched my video the other day, which I'm assuming you didn't because I thought it was quite well sort of discussed, but just in case you did or didn't understand it, this is my belief, and I know there's some sort of stuff backed by it, but different teachers say different things. Essentially, shifting reality means that they were going to do it anyway. So in my belief and all like what I know of it, you're not making the person in reality one text you. Instead, you are shifting to reality two, where they were already going to text you. Therefore, that timeline, they were already going to do your thing, and your affirmations just put you in the consciousness of already being the person in the reality in which it was going to happen. And therefore it happens to you. So that's how like the reality shifting comes into it. I think a lot of people, especially when they come to at the beginning, they come to it thinking that they're changing their specific version of Katie, as in of Katie, of their person. So in my instance, I would affirm something, and this Katie would then do it. But instead, you're shifting to reality in which everything seems the same, but it's just the way that it goes because there's infinite realities. Kiati says, "Loved your nail paint, Katie. It suits you so much."
Thank you.
Natty J says, "Hello, howdy, howdy, Natty J." Sour Apple said, "Message retracted."
I'm getting them redone on Tuesday.
Let's get them all white. Because
Yeah,
I
Matt
asked her
thinks I
to.
should have them all white. What do you reckon? I feel like one has to have a pattern on it. I feel like I can't just do one plain colour.
We'll see about that.
One plain colour. What about one sparkle?
No.
I might have one plain colour nails. We shall see if he affirms well enough.
Preet says, "Is it okay to get headaches while affirming or thinking?" It's not okay, because that would then mean that something's going wrong. I feel like if you're burning yourself out, then yeah, it makes sense. But I don't think it's a good thing. If you're getting headaches, I would advise maybe taking a short break. Because we're thinking all the time, so you must be thinking really hard for it to cause headaches. Because our brains like don't stop all day every day. So I would advise. Sorry, I'd read another comment, got myself like confuddled. Yeah, I would advise if you're getting headaches, maybe taking a short little break. And if you're doing too much to the point where you're getting headaches, maybe just rein it in a little bit. It doesn't have to be all day, every day. Otherwise, you really are going to burn yourself out. But no, I definitely wouldn't say it's normal. I do kind of get mild headaches when I do visualization, but I think that's because I naturally look up when I start to try and visualize, and I think it's straining my eyes. So that's why I've stopped doing it, because I don't want headaches, basically.
Or you might be dehydrated.
Or that, possibly. Hang on, I got to scroll back up.
If I'm like dehydrated and thinking a lot, then I get headaches. So.
Where is it? Where is I? Metanoia says, "I'm kind of confused though. How can someone be scammed by a manifestation coach?" My assumption is the coach said, I can get your person within 2 days. Come pay me money, and then they paid money, and then the coach was like, evil laugh, run away. But I don't know the story. But yeah, it would probably just be a case of the coach lying about their experiences and stuff like that, and just kind of tricking the person into paying. That would be my assumption.
I suppose if somebody's like making up success stories, then obviously more people will buy things from them. And then when they've bought them, then they find out. I guess it's more betrayal rather than like scamming as such. Because like, you see somebody's success story and then you go and pay them, and then you find out afterwards that they were lying about it. It's like if you went to buy a designer top and then it arrived and it was just a sticker on a top, you'd be like, oh, So maybe it's that sort of scenario where it's like, who knows, their coaching may have worked perfect, but then that person still found out afterwards that they lied about all their successes and still feels a bit betrayed. Who knows?
Maybe. Dr. Cody Crockett says,
that's a good name.
It is a cool name. Hey, Matthew, love the channel. What's your take on subliminals? Thank you very much for the kind words. I think they work. I don't use them all that much, but Katie and I actually did a test on them not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago, probably like 3 months ago now, to see if they worked, because we kept getting asked about them. And we did a money one, and we listened to it, I think, a total of 3 or 4 times. And we both had multiple different ways that money came in. We both got more on our paycheck than we expected. Katie got a couple of clients on her Etsy, and I'm pretty sure I got a couple of coaching clients unexpectedly. I can't remember what I got, but we both got like money, and it was a money subliminal. So I think that they're definitely worth giving a go.
I feel like we should probably use them more.
Yeah.
We tend to like run out of time to
Yeah, I don't have time to affirm anymore because I'm too busy helping other people affirm. But Sour Apple says, a few days ago, I got an intuition that my SP is currently involved with someone. Not sure if it was a real intuition or just fear, but I was in a good place mentally when I got that intuition. Do you believe in intuitions being real, or is it just powerful thought which eventually gets manifested? Um, I do and I don't. So obviously intuition is kind of similar to gut feeling. And I know what that means when it's like, I have things where I'm like, something just feels a certain way. But in my opinion, now that I know more about LOA and stuff, I would say that a gut feeling is something that we're just identifying with quite heavily. And the only reason that gut feelings end up becoming true is because our subconscious mind has taken it in and pushed it out. So I would say that that is probably just a big old thought that you've assigned to yourself. And because it is a negative thought, I also would try not to assume that it means that it's happening, because obviously you don't want that to be the case for you. So whether it's just a powerful thought or whether it's genuine, you don't want to assign either of them to be true anyway. But yeah, in my opinion, I think gut feeling is just us associating with a thought quite heavily, and therefore it only plays out because it's impressed the subconscious mind. That's just my take on it. Nina says, Matt, don't forget to send me the link for the review whenever possible. I think that is because of your country, because I tried it with a couple of other people as well, and they also have not been able to access it. So I don't think it's anything to do with the link that I sent you or anything. I think it might be that maybe you aren't able to access it properly because of where you're from. I'm not 100% sure, but people in the EU I've sent it to have seemed to access it fine in America, but like India, Nepal, and some other places other than yourself have not been able to access it. So I think it might be that. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to send you the link to do the review. However, you did send me a lovely review, which I have obviously saved on my email and stuff. So I do still have a great review from you. Dev says, I like you guys because your prices for coaching is negotiable, in my opinion. The reason I don't get coaching is because I feel if I had my SP, I wouldn't get coaching. You know what I mean? I do indeed. And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly understandable if you don't want to. I've never tried to push anyone into getting coaching ever. Like, I think there must have been like 2 or 3 times where someone's been in my comments and I said, I can help you more. Like, if you would like me to, here's my coaching if you're interested, sort of thing. But I never push for it. I don't need to. Like, obviously I do like a little call to action in the beginning of my videos and stuff, just to remind you that it's there.
Back again.
Or just to let people know that it's there if they want it. But I kind of, in a way, I feel like it defeats the purpose being an LOA coach and then basically begging and trying to force people to get your coaching. It just kind of seems like a very backward thing. But yeah, no, by all means, no one needs coaching. And I'm obviously saying this might actually shoot me in the foot, but no one needs coaching. I'm just there to help you get on the right track if you're not already, sort of thing. So yeah, it's a fair enough assumption to have. If you don't want to get coaching, then you don't have to. Duda says CHF is Swiss currency. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All is well. I hope you guys are doing great. Currently, actually using the LOA instead of bombing, using LOA instead of bombing you with emails because of every little trigger in a 3D. That's good. Like, we're doing great, and I hope you are too. But yeah, that's good. It is good to do the work. I mean, by all means, when someone is being coached by me, and to be fair, not anyway, I still answer some emails that I get like here and there. It's absolutely fine because I'm there to help. But yeah, definitely putting the work in and trusting yourself is like the way forward to really to learn and to trust yourself more. So by all means, I'm proud of you for doing that. Nina says, Dev, yeah, but then it's not just about SP. That's what you'll learn when you get coaching. And Matt is there to answer whenever you need someone. There are days we waver and he's there to help. Thanks, Nina. Metanoia says, you either believe it's going to work or not the coach, and the money you give to them just going to confirm that. Yeah, that I reported it to valid scenario point taken. Oh, sorry. So that was about the thingy. Yeah, so you say that you either believe it's going to work or not the coach, and the money you give to them isn't going to confirm that. And then you say below, yeah, that's a valid scenario point taken. Still though, I get the point. I can see how it would. Yeah, I can see both sides of it. I can see the side of like, well, just don't get scammed, innit? But then I can also see the side where you might fall for it. So I'm on the fence. To be honest, I think the person's just a scumbag and should just get the fuck off YouTube if they're going to be scamming people and giving people like I can get you your thing, and then scamming them. Like, these are people that want help. These are people that need help. That's like a therapist going, "Oh, tell me all your trauma," and then lol JK, and just walking away. Like, it's not, it's a scummy thing to do, to be honest. um, but yeah.
Oh God, sorry, that just made me chuckle.
Sean says everything is forgiven. Good, I'm glad. Oh, Matanya also said you have to prove the law to yourself and live accordingly, regardless of how lost you are in the present moment, like myself. Lol. Yeah, that's the other side of it as well. It's like no coach, even if they give you the perfect scene or the perfect routine, is going to be able to manifest for you. Now, coaches are very useful in everything, not just LOA. I think coaches are very important. I still look up to people that are better than me in certain things because you always want to be looking up. But yeah, I definitely think taking what you've been told or what you've learned and actually applying it is the most important thing. And a coach can help you on board with that, but they're not the end all be all. You can never, unless you are being outright scammed by a coach, then you can never really blame the coach, because even if they give you the perfect thing, if you don't put in the work, it doesn't matter. Which is one of those things that I think a lot of people do need to remember as well. Fortunately, I've only had a handful of people that have kind of been a bit of uncomfortable clients of mine. So I'm quite fortunate, but I do think there is a big thing out there where people want coaches to basically hold their hand and give them the answer and do it for them. But that's never going to work, because in the LOA, that you're looking outside of you to get the results. So, it's not going to work. But
I think it's like personal trainers. Like, you can't go to a personal trainer and them exercise for you.
Exactly. So I think there's like a little bit of compromise. I can give you the perfect thing, but if you don't do the work, it's not going to work anyway. Jazz Deep says, hoping you guys are doing good. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing good too. Joining the live while I wait at Dallas airport for my flight back home to California. This was a trip I manifested to be fully paid by someone else. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
well done.
Enjoy. Hope you've enjoyed the trip. Dev says, no, I can learn from his videos. What's the point buying coaching if I already know what to do? Yeah, fair enough. And then Matthias says, yeah, still there. Okay, we answered that. JRC says, finally here. Howdy, howdy. We're literally about to shut off because we've been, I still need to eat and everything. And so does Katie. Sorry, JRC, but we're glad to see you here. Nina says, that's great, Dev. You'll learn everything from his videos. Just saying, his support is definitely worth it. I learned a lot from the coaching too, but of course, it's great if you don't need it. Absolutely. M Joy says, talking back to my SP not so nicely when needed is as a reaction. I then tell myself it is okay. I talk to the old version. The new version still isn't here, but I'm doubting that approach. By the way, your coaching prices made you so believable and genuine and easier to trust for me. High prices for coaching make me suspicious. Yeah, okay, so let me read the first one because I've forgotten what he said. Talking back to my SP not so nicely when needed as a reaction. I then tell myself it is okay. I talk to the old version and new version still isn't here, but I am doubting that approach. I mean, I think obviously if you're saying the new one isn't here, that's obviously not helping your situation because you're still hi Ray Ray. You're still applying. Oh, she's literally like right in the corner. You're still like implying that he's not here yet, which is obviously not living in the end. But I do like the idea that you are.
She just keeps giving like dirty looks to the camera.
Oh,
that's brilliant.
Sorry. Important LOA partner. My chicken legs. Let's get him on camera. I do think the approach that you use where you're like, nope, that reaction was not, that was like an old reaction to the old version, all that kind of stuff. I think that's perfectly fine. I can't. I think that's perfectly fine. But yeah, maybe try to say, instead of saying that was the old version, maybe just say like that reaction was necessary because I no longer accept undesirable behavior, and then say the new version of him doesn't give this to me, or something like that. And then, yeah, you say below, by the way, your coaching prices made you so believable and genuine and easier to trust for me. High prices for coaching make me suspicious. Yeah, I mean, there is any industry charges a lot. I think that our coaches have a lot that they do charge for sure. But when it comes to coaching, it's not actually that unrealistic when it comes to any industry. But yeah, I think when you're a service that's trying to help extremely, like, for want of a better term, desperate people that really need the help and really need some sort of guidance, I think putting your prices massive it just makes things worse, because then if they they don't manage to do the work, because like I said, the person needs to do the work, they're also then down by hundreds of pounds. And it's like, obviously I need to compensate my time, the time away from like Katie, and the time that I actually take to do it. But
and the time away from work now.
yeah, because now I've started quitting my job to do it. But yes, there's a level of I need to compensate myself, and a level of even if the person absolutely doesn't do the work, at least they're not all that like, out of pocket for it, which fortunately, like I said earlier, not many people, I haven't had many clients that have been particularly difficult to work with. So I'm quite happy with like my prices, because I know that I'm getting good results from them. So I know that I'm making people's lives better. But yeah, I do agree that sometimes you look at the prices and you're like, but really, is it worth the £1,000 that you're charging? Let me have this scissors.
Last time you had a knife on the live, it cut it off.
It did indeed.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Metanoia says, oh, for sure, your scammers give every industry a bad name. Unfortunately, I totally agree. Yeah, they suck. Deb says, Matthew is great. Obviously, he's the GOAT. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What does that mean?
Greatest of all time.
Oh. I've seen that comment so many times, like so many people calling him a goat, and I thought it was just like a weird nickname.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here. It's nice. Oh, no, the other one's going to ruin it now. You can see Ray Ray's lies just darting all over the place. Anyway, Rick Farr says, would you ever advocate actively avoiding your SP if they are doing the exact opposite to your manifestation? I advocate setting boundaries and creating distance if necessary. Now, if, for example, Katie was going to go to a coffee shop and I usually go to the coffee shop and I'm like, okay, I'm not going there because I don't want to see them, I wouldn't advocate that if you're trying to manifest them, because you're actively trying to avoid them, which is actively creating the end result that things aren't great. But I would say that like I would stop reaching out, or I would maybe, obviously you can do that from a perspective of like, oh, I'm just going to change my time. It doesn't have to be because of the SP. You just change the time that you're going to go do something. But yes, I would advocate setting some boundaries, setting some distance, because you don't want to be constantly presented with something undesirable while you're trying to change it. So yes, I would advocate it, but I think advocate in a way that doesn't make it seem like you're deliberately trying to create that distance to manifest better.
Just like arrange things that you would normally do at different times and stuff like that, but not from I must not bump into them, it will ruin everything if I bump into them, because then if you do bump into them, you have the assumption that it will ruin everything.
Exactly. If we could stop the comments from now, just because we're really trying to head off, because it's almost 10 and we still haven't eaten yet.
I really want avocado.
Do you want to go start making your food now? I can just finish up the last couple of comments. It's fine. Honestly, just go do it. You're hungry. Go on. Mush, 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 mush.
Bye.
Mush. Right, now Katie's gone. No, joking. Go away. Go eat. Kiati says, I had this confusion that when we are have a slightest argument with SP, then we shall just not react to it, or is it okay to reply back at the time? Well, why would you want to? Like, that's another thing. This, in my opinion, this comes from an absolute desperate need for the individual. Why would you want to continue talking to someone that you're arguing with? Why would you want to continue reaching out to someone that's making you feel like shit in the moment? In my honest opinion, and based on exactly what I do with Katie, if there's an argument, it's best to just separate yourself. Just go do. Even if you sit in a different room. Like when Katie and I argue, I sit downstairs, I play games and stuff, knowing full well that she's mad at me for staying downstairs. But what's the point? If I go back upstairs, we argue, and it's just, I just don't see the point. I think you should honestly create distance if there's arguments and let them come to you, especially as conscious creators. Why would you then be the one to chase? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, so I would advise just leaving it. Juicy Jaw says, good luck with the push-ups. Thank you both for tonight. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if I will do them now because it's got so late, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be dedicated enough. But thank you very much for showing up and supporting us as always. Dev says, just in case, whenever I see mental pictures of third-person view, I give it meaning, which means I am SP's boyfriend or lover. Oh, sorry, not third. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's a good thing to do. M. Joy says, love the advice. Thank you. You're very welcome. Maureen Patel says, I need to get my credit cards paid off, but missed the date because I do not have the money in the bank account, but wanted to be fully paid off before the upcoming date. So now you have your end result. Create scenes that imply that is the case. So I'm so grateful to have paid off my credit cards when necessary. It feels so relieving to no longer have debt. It feels so amazing to be able to have so much money that I can pay off my credit cards as much as I want. create scenes that imply that you already have that, and repeat them to yourself. Make use of the morning and the night where your subconscious mind is more receptive. And throughout the day, if you think of money, just switch it so that as if you are already living your dream life. Kiati says your cat is really cute. Yeah, this one's my one. I brought this one with me. It's Ray Ray. She's my favorite. She's become very lovey and close lately because she kind of went through a phase of disappearing a lot. Not disappearing as in getting lost, but she would stay away from everyone, sort of thing. But yeah, she's the bestest. And Matanya says, bye guys, wishing you well. Thanks again. You're very welcome. Thank you for showing up and supporting. So everyone, thank you very much for showing up to this live stream. Thank you very much to the donation to Duda for donating, and to Natty J for joining the community. If anyone is interested in coaching, obviously the links are all in my previous videos and stuff. I have all tomorrow set out to be able to. I have all tomorrow free for video coaching. So if you're interested in any coaching services, by all means, drop me a line or whatever. I will be starting a second channel too for anyone that is interested soon. It's going to be an entirely self-improvement channel. So I've tried to push a little bit of self-improvement that isn't, visualize and yada, yada, yada. But it just doesn't seem to be well received on the channel because everyone wants to just be told all they have to do is visualize and get their thing, which they can have. But like I said earlier I think it was Duda's question about, I think self-concept is very important. This is all going to be 3D self-improvement that is going to help your self-concept. So if anyone is interested, drop me a message and I'll let you know when the channel has gone live. But yeah, it's going to be all 3D self-improvement. It's going to involve self-improvement challenges that I do to myself, and just it's more of an enjoyment kind of channel, I suppose. But yeah, so thank you everyone for showing up, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. End the stream really awkwardly. Oh, someone said something. Oh, got back out. Down for second channel, dude. Go for it. Can't wait. Cool. Well, I'll post a community thing when I do post it, when I do set it live. I'll catch you all in the next one. Ricky Farr said I'd be interested. That's great. I'm glad that there's already support for it. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.